So here we are in a car with iDrive, BMW's multimedia system being called iDrive. So if you haven't used one of these cars before, this is how to do it. Obviously make sure on the way down to the customer or beforehand, even in the dealer, you make sure that you're au fait with all of the extra functions that we're not going to go through here, but here are the basics. In the center console, and this is placed differently for different cars, you have a rotary dial that both twists, as you can see now, and also press down to select, and also move side to side and up and down. We'll show you what that does on the screen in a second. You also have some direct shortcut buttons for all the things that will appear on the menu screen of the navigation system, or of the screen that you'll see. You can always press backwards as well. Backwards just takes you back one screen. So now here is the screen that we've been talking about. So if I go to menu, which is the central button I just showed you, these are the settings that we've seen in the shortcut buttons. Using the rotary dial, I can scroll through. Multimedia, which involves things like the USB and playing things from an iPhone if the customer's got an iPhone or another sort of device. Radio, fairly self-explanatory, make sure you're aware of whether the car's got DAB or not. Telephone system, we're going to show you how to pair a phone as well. Navigation system, and we will show you how to basically put a short navigation address in. Contacts, which holds all of the contacts that the customer's phone or multimedia device has. Connected drive, that we won't go through here, but the customer needs to set that up himself. Vehicle information, self-explanatory. And settings. Settings will go through, this particular car's an i3, and settings we will go through in a separate video relating to in order to charge the car using the petrol motor on petrol engine, on a range extender vehicle. So we'll go to navigation first. The most important thing is that you've got a map. A lot of people drive around with the map on all the time, even if they're not using the navigation. You can see here that we're in the map screen. If we push the rotary dial to the left, we enter into these. So you can see now guidance. This is where you actually wouldn't add an address if you were in that screen. Switching on and off spoken instructions.
Navigation is not active.
Like so. Different sorts of routes, so we can have fast route, scenic route, whatever it's got, so on and so forth. The only other thing the customer may ask is map views. This one is north oriented, but you can also have direction of travel, whatever the customer's looking for. So let's put an address in. Once we do that, that's my home address, I'm sorry. We put enter new destination input, and we simply add in an address. So the address I'm going to put in is, let's make up somewhere. We're going to go to Nottingham. I'm going to go to Lenton Lane at Sitting BMW Nottingham. So using the rotary dial, we scroll through the letters. It'll eventually predict. So here we put in 3/4 of Nottingham, but we can again push the rotary dial to the right now, so not twisting it, pushing it to the right. We've got everything with Notting in it. We're going to select the second one, Nottingham. Road-wise, we're going to go to Lenton Lane, which is Nottingham BMW's address, the sort of place you like to deliver this car to. So again, the same sort of thing, we'll get it to predict enough of Lenton Lane. So that obviously after Lenton it knows there's a gap, because there isn't anything that starts in Lenton but has letters in the same word. Perfect. There we go, Lenton Lane Industrial Estate. And at this point we can either put in a house name, which is not asking for, a junction, or ask it to start the guidance. Let's just go into the different sorts of routes we can do for a second. If you shift sideways, I can now ask the ask the car to do fastest route, most economical route, shortest route. I can ask it to avoid motorways, avoid ferries, avoid tolls, sort of thing you might do if you're in London. So the next part of it is how to pair a phone. You simply select telephone, add a new device, make sure that you remove the previous your device. So if I'm Oliver and I'm driving down and I'm delivering the vehicle, I can remove Oliver's iPhone simply by selecting in, remove device, and now we're empty. These cars can only take a certain number of phones or Bluetooth devices, so if you find it's full, you will need to delete some, but delete them all anyway. It's customer's new car, needs to be empty. We simply then go to add new device, then search in your Bluetooth menu for BMW i59708. That's specific to this car, so there will be a different number for different vehicles. The I signifying this is an I product. Once you're in there, you simply press connect on your phone. It'll ask you for a pairing code. Accept that in both the car and the telephone, and then simply get it to transfer the data. After that, you can use the telephone at will. Hopefully you find this useful.